All right, guys, so welcome to our little fitness influencer surge. It's going to be fun. We'll keep it short and sweet so you guys aren't like super overwhelmed. So basically tonight we just want to give you kind of like a rundown about, kind of like our backgrounds, just get to know us. And more so, we really want to focus on the community. And so I'll just go ahead and get started. So we have myself, Kari, and Shelly tonight. And we'll just kind of introduce ourselves, kind of tell you a little bit about ourselves so you guys get to know us, because our community is really surrounded by a group of women that supports one another in all aspects of life. So you see us on social media and we're posting about our health and fitness journeys, but what you guys don't see is what goes on behind the scenes. So I'm Darcy. I grew up in Southwest Minnesota. I live in Northwest Iowa now. Bill and I have been married 5 years. We just celebrated our 5-year anniversary with our team in Indianapolis. So I have a 3-year-old Blake and 8-month-old Mila. Work full-time as a nurse at Lakes Regional in Spirit Lake. And then I do this fitness influencing kind of on the side. So I'm excited to kind of share with you guys tonight like what we do, and just so that you know what we do with working full-time, because all 3 of us work full-time, plus we are fitness influencers. So I'll let either Shelly or Kari introduce themselves as well.
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead, Kari.
Okay, so I'm Kari Call. I live very close to Darcy. I am a fiance and I get married in 19 days, not that I'm counting. But I am very close to my family. I have a dog. I am going into my 3rd year of teaching middle school special education, and I also coach middle school sports. And I really do love to camp and kayak, and I just like to spend a lot of time with people that I love and that make me feel happy.
Perfect. Kari is very family oriented. She's like the sweetest person ever, you guys.
And she's hilarious. So my name is Shelly Ann, for those of you who don't know me. I am a wife. I've been married for 5 years now, kind of like Darcy. We kind of planned our weddings at the same time. That's really a lot of how I connected with her. I have a dog named Kiko. Oh my gosh, sorry. It looks like there's a big spot on my face. And I probably share a lot about him on social media, probably more than I should. And yeah, I work full time at our local hospital here in town, very small town. We do not have very many people that live here, so that's why my internet is questionable sometimes. I'm on med-surg floor. I've worked med-surg pretty much my entire nursing career. And then I do this fitness influencer thing that you guys see me posting about and stuff on social media on the side. So yeah.
Yay. And Shelly's like our little like rock star on the team. Yes. Hip hop keeps us live. Yes.
Yeah.
So kind of moving forward, you guys, so what I really want to get across is that, a lot of times we have women that want to join, our little fitness influencer team. And, they always think that you have to be like in the best physical shape of your life. So we're going to kind of go through and kind of tell you guys like how we got started, and just kind of how it has impacted our lives. So when I first started out like on my fitness journey, for me, you guys, it was more so that mental aspect. Like I didn't have a ton of weight to lose. And I don't think any of us, the 3 of us, none of us really had a ton of weight to lose. And I think sometimes being a fitness influencer, it's really stereotyped that, I have to have this 30-pound weight loss journey in order for people to want to be just like me and for me to inspire other women. For me, when I first started, I was at a really dark place. I had gotten out of a really crappy relationship where health and fitness, like if I went to the gym, it was stereotyped that, other guys are looking at you. And I never share that part of my story, but I only share it like in these little surges because I want you guys to know that for me, it was that mental transformation. When I first started, my husband and I, we had just started dating. And I wanted something where I could be my best self. So I did a 21 detox, a 21-day cleanse that was absolutely horrible. Like, you could not work out for 21 days. You could only, by the third week, you could only eat fruits and vegetables. And I thought I was gonna die. Like, it was horrible, you guys. But that was a pivotal moment in my life. You know, my husband and I, like I said, we just got together, and I was focusing on me being a better person. And it was like my whole life was finally starting to come together. You know, I was working full time as a nurse. Bill was like the guiding light in my life who supported me. And for the first time in my life, I finally completed something start to finish. And that was how I got going. And I wanted to share my story and let other women know that this isn't just about a before and after physically. It's about who you can be today and who you can be tomorrow versus who you were yesterday. And to be honest with you, I really don't know where I would be if I didn't come across this group of women, because like I said, I was in this really dark spot, and now it's like you have the world by your hands, and you have this group of women that support you in all aspects. You know, I have been very present on social media. I'm very upfront and forward that, you know, having Mila, she's my second child, it has been really hard for me. It's been an emotional struggle. And without having this community of girls with me every single day, I honestly probably have jumped off the deep end a long time ago. You know, so it's been just this huge transformation from day one, which was like 7 years ago, to today. And it just keeps getting better. So I could talk all day. I will stop talking and have one of the other girls kind of tell their stories and, you know, how they got started and whatnot.
Do you want to go, Shelly?
Go ahead, Kari. Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I started, it's kind of a funny story because Darcy was my nurse for my yearly physical, so kind of not, you know, the greatest way to meet someone, but so I had recognized her because I was following her on Facebook, and I just was very blunt, and I was like, hey, are you falling fit? And she was like, yeah. And so we kind of just went from there, and I actually reached out to her because I was a senior in college and I had just gained a bunch of weight that I didn't want, and I was unhappy, and I just knew that I needed to do something. Otherwise I was going to continue going down that path of just gaining weight and not really feeling my best. So I first started this for myself, and I just wanted to be in the best health that I could be in. And I just thought that as like physically, I just wanted to be in the best health I could be in. But then, you know, it opened up this whole like personal development, and it ended up turning into this physical and this mental transformation. And, you know, Darcy kept mentioning like, hey, you're killing this. You should really just consider, you know, becoming an influencer. And, you know, I tossed it around for a while because I didn't really want to do that. But then I also knew that it could be a good accountability piece for me. So I decided to give it a shot. And at first I truly just did it for the discount because I knew I wasn't going to stop doing it because I had lost all this weight and I was loving life. And so I thought I would just do it for the discount. And then I started simply just sharing what I was doing. And I started becoming even more consistent with everything. And people were just coming to me, asking what I was doing. And that's when I decided, okay, I think I might take this fitness influencer to the next level. And I started running just small groups by myself. And it was just crazy. And then the biggest moment for me is as I was doing this, I noticed people that I really cared for were coming to me, like my mom. She has lost so much weight. She actually just called me tonight and she goes, Kari, we have a problem. And I was like, what? She goes, my dress for your wedding is hanging off my body. And I said, okay, we'll deal with that problem, Mom. That's awesome. You know, so it's just like, I could get emotional about it because it's this little thing that I started for myself that has now carried over into my mom. And now my sister, who is in high school, who, you know, is doing the same things that I was doing, she's already catching it now because she's watching me, and she is drinking more shakes than I can even imagine, and she's working out all the time. And So, you know, just the fact that this little thing that I did for myself to lose some weight has turned into this huge thing for my family has just gives me the chills. I love it. So that's kind of my story.
Okay. So for me, actually, my fitness journey started probably about 6 years ago. I had gotten engaged. Me and Carlos, we were going to get married and we're getting started to, plan this wedding. And so I'm like, okay, well, I want to look really good in my wedding dress. Like, I want to look amazing. So I had already been, I watched Darcy and she was sharing her story on social media. And I actually went online, I think it was, and I ordered my first fitness pack, and it was Insanity, which, by the way, is the hardest program a beginner could start with. I had no fitness background. Like, I never went to the gym. I remember, like, junior high and high school, my PE teachers wanted me to run, and I'd be like, like, no way, I'm not doing this fitness thing. So I had no background. I started out in my living room. I was pushing play, like me and Carlos, we were working out together. And, I kind of moved on to doing like P90X3. I wasn't completely 100% in. I was just dabbling in here and there. Well, fast forward, what was it? Maybe like a couple of years after Darcy had mentioned, about becoming a coach, because I was sharing my journey here and there on social media a little bit. Every time I would post something, I would get so much positive feedback from people. They'd be like, because of you, Shelly, like, I worked out today, or I drank more water. And there was a day that 22-minute Hard Corps was going to launch on Beachbody. And I was like, okay, well, here's another program. I'm going to do this because I've been getting amazing results. It's helped me between the gym, working out at home. It just worked with my really busy schedule, of being a nurse, working day and night shifts. So I was looking online and I was like, okay, well, it's going to be the same price to sign up, with this program, or sign up and be, a fitness influencer for the program. So I went ahead and I just signed up to be a fitness influencer. And I don't think I even told Darcy I was going to do it. So I signed up, and it wasn't really until, I was kind of in and out of being a fitness influencer. I was like, I'm going to do this as a hobby. I'm going to do it for fun. I'm going to create that Facebook page. And I think, Jana, you might have been one of my first Facebook pages that I ever created, where I was just like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to share everything that I'm learning along the way. And it's just kind of something that, I don't know, it's something that just created a ripple effect, and taking little, bits of things that I had learned, from Darcy or the other girls on the team, just sharing a little bit here and there. And it's turned into something more. Like, now here I am living in this small town, and I feel like so connected with my journey, like my fitness journey, and the people around me as well, because some of the girls on my team are like my closest friends. And they're really people that I can, turn to, because they understand me and the lifestyle that I live. It's just something that started out for me small, like as a hobby, and it's just built into like something I have so much fun with. That's a little bit about how I started. And now our team is growing bigger than I could even imagine. And it's just crazy to think that, like, really it is about helping others. And like, when I get those messages in my inbox, it gives me the chills just talking about it. Cause like, just the other day I got a message in my inbox of a girl who was like thanking me for helping her, because not only did I help her get started on her fitness journey, but I literally helped her save her marriage. She's like, my life was circling the drain. And because I said yes to joining you and working on myself mentally and physically, she's like, everything in my life is so much better. She's like, I'm not snapping on my husband. Our relationship's thriving. That's just like one example of messages that I have got. I get stuff all the time, and I wish I could share them all with you guys, but there's just so much. I don't know. I could go on and on too, like Darcy said.
I think Shelly just nailed it. Like, you guys, like, this team is just like taking off. So even my husband, so every year we have an annual business trip where we all come together. Next year it's in New Orleans. So once a year we all get together. And it's just incredible, you guys, because if you're thinking about, okay, you know what, this influencer thing, like, I think I can do it, but there's that hesitation in the back of your mind. My husband, when he came with us last week, he had never been to this with me before, and this was my 4th year going. And we were talking about, just working on ourselves, and he had said it, you have to work on yourself first, and everything else will fall into place. So if there is like that hesitation or that self-doubt about like, I just don't feel like I'm good enough, us women, we self-criticize and we feel like we're not good for a lot of things. And something like this, if you have that hesitation, but you're focusing on yourself and you're sharing your journey and you're talking about it and you're just being the most authentic, best person you can be, everything else will fall into play. And I could talk all night about that, but I think, so what we'll move on to next is, like what is our vision, and our statement, even as, I'm starting to ask my girls this when they're starting to join our fitness group. I don't want to hear about, okay, I have 10 pounds to lose. Because you know what? I have 10 pounds of baby weight to lose yet. But I feel like if you focus so much on that aspect, that you really don't take off as a person. So if you're on this call tonight and you're thinking about your health and fitness goals, like, hey, I have 10 pounds to lose, or I want to be in the best shape of my life by an anniversary or a wedding or a birthday or a vacation. I want you guys to kind of turn that around tonight and just really think about, if I were to ask myself what my vision is or my statement is without having an end date, what would it be? For me, in the beginning, my family's trying to FaceTime me. In the beginning, it was more so, I just wanted to be the most real, authentic person I could be. And I wanted to do something start to finish. And then it turned into, okay, I have this many pounds of baby weight to lose after Blake. But I found myself beating myself up, if I didn't give it my all during my workout, or if my nutrition wasn't on track. But now I've really kind of turned things around. And to me, it's, if I were to come up with a vision or a statement, it would be to, be the most fulfilling and rewarding, authentic mom to my kids and to my husband, so that we can live a life that is above mediocrity, that a life that I'm not just pushing 9 to 5, or doing my 3 12-hour shifts. Like, I want to create a life where my kids remember me and remember mom being with them growing up. And my husband saying that, yeah, my wife, she was always the happiest person, or is, whatever it may be. Kari and Shelly, do you guys want to share yours?
Yeah. So for me, like I said, originally I started this for myself. And then I kind of, after I started getting into it more, like I said, and people were wanting more information, I kind of shifted my vision, especially after my family got involved with it as well. And for me, it's really focusing on, I like to really start my day off with like intentional mornings. So I like to always put that in my vision so that I can continuously remind myself that if I start my morning intentionally, then it'll help me carry out this goal. But as a fitness influencer, my main vision is to help people who are family oriented and very busy, and to, discover the investment into their health, because it is an investment, but it's a very important investment. I don't remember who I heard this from, but someone put it in the, in the idea of, you need your washer and dryer. If your washer and dryer break, you have to go buy a new one. Well, that's how we should see our health too. Like, you figure it out, because your health is very important, just like washing your clothes is. So it's an investment, but it's worth it. So that's how I want people to start seeing their health, because that's how I see it now. Like, I don't know. Anyways, I'll keep going. But taking that investment into a healthy lifestyle for themselves without regretting it, because I feel like that's something else too, is you know, if someone's investing this into themselves and they're taking away from their family, but that's actually not true, because if you're investing in your health, then you're going to be a better person for your family. So, and then I want them to take that investment and then carry it on throughout their family for their kids, or for my example, for my sister, for my mom, and then someday for my kids as well. So that's kind of mine, is very family oriented and seeing it as an investment that will help not only yourself, but your family.
Yeah, that's really good, Kari. My vision for my girls and myself is, you know, take it back to when I first started my fitness journey. It was all about a physical goal. Like, I want to do this because I want to look good. But now that my team is growing and like all of us are, you know, sharing this lifestyle, I'm a very, very firm believer of self-care. Like, even though, you know, you're a wife and you're a mom, and I know that I don't have kids, so I can't sit here, you know, and preach to people who do, but I do have Darcy and I do have like Caitlin, who are on our team, who also have kids at home, and I see them taking care of themselves first, you know, basically, you know, like the whole, like, fill your cup first, you know, before you can be good for all of those around you. You know, before I started my journey, to be honest, I used to be a really evil person. Like, my parents would call me or people would talk to me, and I was that girl who was always, I was rolling my eyes at people, like, don't bother me. Just, I was an evil person. Yes, I was happy, but I was a very, very snotty person. I'll honestly say that. And now I feel like I'm very warm whenever people come to me now. Like, I'm very, like, I need to take care of myself, and physically, and most important, mentally first, you know, before I can be good for all of those other people around me. And being 100% authentically me, I feel like as a fitness influencer, I can go on my social media, and yes, I can share the fitness aspect of my life, but I can also share that I am a hot mess too. I am not perfect. You know, I just spent the last week and a half eating pizza every single day, and I can share that lifestyle with other people and be myself, and it helps them believe that, yes, I can live this, you know, I can do this, and I can be myself, because let's be real, I mean, that's what life is about. Life is just about, you know, being yourself, taking care of you first, and just instilling that belief into others around you that they can do the same thing too.
I love it. I love it, Shelly. So real quickly, we'll just kind of start wrapping things up, but we wanted to touch base on, okay, being an influencer, you know, what does that entail? So we've talked about, you know, we share on social media, we're our authentic selves, you know, like Shelly had talked about the last week, how she like binged on pizza. You know, we're all about balance. That's why I said, come sit with us tonight. We grabbed a glass of wine. Like, I want you to know that being an influencer, you don't have to be like this obsessive, compulsive, healthy eater who works out all the time. Like, that is not us. But moving forward, there are 3 areas of being an influencer that we'll just touch base on. Number 1 is, you know, being a discount influencer. So basically joining us, and we all get 25% off all the products we use, which is nice. But with that, you know, we have an area, a community, a tribe where all of us plug into on a daily basis. So whether or not you want to join us and go all in, or you just kind of want to be one of those dabblers who enjoys a discount but wants it for the community aspect. So, you know, our team has a Facebook page where we are real, we are raw. We have team calls where we talk about not just this aspect, but just life in general. We just jump on and we just talk, you guys. Talk about, you know, what are we struggling at in life in general? Where can we support one another? And I really want to get that across tonight, that I feel like I wish we could give you guys a more sense of the community that we have. Like I said, we just went to Indianapolis last week, and it was like we were lifelong friends that hadn't seen each other for an entire year. Like, yes, the 3 of us kind of sort of live locally, but the rest of our team, you guys, is out in Seattle, Washington, Utah, Idaho. We have some in Tennessee, Atlanta, Louisiana, the far, northeast side of the United States. We have a couple in like Pittsburgh. So we are all over. So don't ever feel like we are this close-knit group that sees each other all the time, because it's virtual. That's how we see each other. Usually 9 times out of 10, I have kids jumping in the background and Mila's in my arm, and it doesn't always look prim and proper like this. I just thankfully have my husband home tonight. So we do have women that just join for that aspect, to have that part of a community in their lives, but not do anything with being an influencer. Just get the 25% off of any products that we use. And at any given time, it can lead to the next chapter of your life. Kari, do you want to touch base on being like a hobby influencer?
Yeah. So for a while, I was a hobby influencer, and I just did it mainly, people who came to me, I would give them information and then I would just touch base with them. But truly, that's just doing it when you have time, and it's just a way for you to, it might be even just like an accountability piece for yourself. I know that's how I saw it a lot of times was, I was reaping the benefits of the 25% off, and then I also had a few girls that I was checking in with that were also holding me accountable. But yeah, I also want to go off of, you talked about the community, and that has been probably the biggest thing for me as community. And whether you are doing it just as a hobby coach or a discount influencer, whatever, I have, like, for example, I just got partnered up with a Success Partner, and that was so huge for me. Like, she is from New York and I have never met her, and we just met for the first time at Summit, and it was like we were twins separated at birth, honestly. Like, it's just so cool. And me and Darcy and Shelly have this group chat that I love, just either if it's looking for advice or venting for a few seconds quick or whatever. It's just been so amazing. So having that community is huge, and it always makes me feel like I'm a part of something. And no matter how much you want to get into this on the business side, you'll always have that community, because we are just there to cheer on anyone and answer any questions that people might have.
Shelly, we'll let you talk about like being your own boss.
Okay. Sorry, Kiko kept on scratching on the door, so I had to let him in. So as being your own boss, being like a CEO of your own business, you are a business builder, you are, you're a hustler, you are somebody who wants to go all in. Maybe you want to use this as a way to, at first it started for me, just to pay for my supplements. And then it went into, paying some of my bills. And then it went into like paying off credit card debt. So whatever your goal might be, it's personal. You can go from, a CEO to a hobby coach. If you need to take a step back at any time, but you're either making a part-time or a full-time income, as a fitness influencer. And really, honestly, either way you go about it, like I said, you can go in and out each way however you want, but you are setting that time aside. For me, it's days off that I have. Like, today's my day off of work, today's my day that I work my business. But then when I go back to work tomorrow, I'm 100% present, at work at that time. So you're really setting aside that time to, check off the things that you need to do to help you build and grow your team. And it's actually something that kind of comes really naturally as you're sharing your story, and as you are getting girls signed up, they'll naturally want to come to you and do the same thing that you're doing as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about being a CEO. You're just more committed. And yep, babies and puppies are allowed on our calls. Go lay down, Kiko.
Something really important that I think Shelly mentioned that I want to restate is even if you start out just doing it as the discount, you can grow whenever you want, and you can step back whenever you want. I mean, I truly just started becoming my own boss here within the last 6 months or so, because I mean, I just created my own page for the influencers who are ready to take it to the next step with me. And so that's just what's great about it, is you can be flexible with it however you need to be, and it doesn't have to be consistent either. If there's a, season in your life where you do need to step back, you easily can, but that's the joy of it.
And I think Kari nailed it. So like when I first started, it was strictly just for discount, you guys. And then when I got pregnant with my first, I'm like, okay, like I feel like I want more. So I went all in, and there's been times where, like, even with my second pregnancy, having Mila, I stepped back for a couple of weeks, and the beauty of it is it's okay. No one's going to judge you. No one is going to call you out and say, hey, you're not part of the team. Or anything. We support you in all aspects of your life. And I honestly think if we could sit here all night and talk about like where we would be if we didn't have this group of women. And we're not just like any group of women. Like I honestly feel like we are a true, authentic group of women. We've had women come and go, and when they come back, we always welcome them with open arms. There's never any like judgment. Maybe you go all in the beginning, and then you realize like, hey, you know what, I just want to take a step back. Like that's okay. Like that is the true beauty of being your own influencer and having your own team. You have us behind you, always fighting and supporting you 110%. So what I think we'll do is we'll start to wrap it up here. There's different ways to join us, and I think what we'll have everyone do is whoever invited you on this call, we'll just reach out to you afterwards and just kind of see, if there's any specific questions you have, and how we can get you started. There's just so many different other things we could talk about. There's always objections like time and schedules and all of that. And it's so much easier just to take it on a personal basis, just because all of us have different occupations, we have different schedules. So we'll just kind of reach out to you after the call and just kind of see what you're thinking. If there's any specific questions that you have, maybe you have a question for Kari or Shelly or myself, reach out to us. Kari and Shelly, do you guys have anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
I would just say that no matter what you decide to do with the title of an influencer, you just have to understand that it can open up so many doors for you if you just let it. And, my whole life, like Darcy said, we could sit here and talk all night, but we're not going to. It has just completely changed my life in ways that I didn't even know I needed my life to be changed. And, I don't know. It's a really great opportunity. And I think it's really important that after you get off this call that you just take some time to figure out, why you are here in the first place. Why did you decide to listen to this? And, what is your purpose and what would you like to do with becoming an influencer?
Yeah. So I think that's really good, Kari. And I guess I'm to the point in my life where it's I don't know, I feel like I have learned to say yes to a lot of things, and I know it's super scary, but once you get into that area of your life where you say yes to everything, to your husband, to your kids, to the people at work, the team trainings, saying yes to everything really helps you grow as a person. And I couldn't imagine what my life would be without this opportunity, honestly. So that's kind of been I don't know if you guys have read the book A Year of Yes by Shonda Williams. If you haven't, read it, you guys. It is life-changing. I'm serious, read it. But that's all I got.
Well, I love how Kari said, there is so many opportunities if you just let it. Like that is the perfect line, you guys. Like if you just let it. This is a scary thing. New things are scary. Being on social media and being present and real and authentic, it's scary. But there are big things with being an influencer if you just let it. And just know that when you're present on social media, this whole team right here is going to be there day in, day out to support you. You know, when you're posting, we're going to be right there cheering you on and helping you build that team. And I just want to say hi to Jess Lifford on here. She's one of my girls. Then this is just another part, like I could cry seeing Jess on here because this is the community I'm talking about, you guys. So she lives in Tennessee, and we've only have gotten to see her once. She didn't get to come to Summit this year, and it was sad. And she's such a sweet, sweet person, and honestly, one of my absolute dearest friends. Like, we talk via text message. You know, the times we've talked, we've been on the phone for like an hour plus. And it's just the women that are attracted to you and your most realist self on social media are going to be your closest of friends that you never have even met until now. You know, like I could tell Jess my whole life story and vent to her every single day, and I know she's never ever going to judge me. She's always going to support me. The same with Shelly and Kari. So anyways, we will wrap it up, you guys. I hope you all have gotten so much out of this call. And just know that you can reach out to any one of us. We're going to be here day, night. We're always here to answer questions, to listen to whatever you have to talk about, whatever it may be. So thanks for popping on, you guys. We appreciate it. We hope you guys take this influencer thing to the next level and you come to New Orleans with us next year, because we really do have the absolute best team. So good night, you guys. Bye. Thanks for jumping on.
Bye.